Good evening. I'd like to call the second Board of Public Works to order with, let's see, we have March 4th. We'll start with roll call. Clerk?
Alderman Tom Grotti. Here. Alderman Ted Grotti. Here. Alderman Rapella. Here. Alderman Nichols. Here. Alderman Eisenach. Here. Alderman Sevnik.
Here.
Alderman Hammond.
Here.
All are present with the exception of Alderman Lewis.
Thank you. The next item is public comments on any matter listed on this agenda. Is there anyone from the gallery? Nope, they're both saying no. At least they stuck around. All righty, then we'll move on to minutes to approve. Is there a motion? Alderman Rapella.
Thank you very much, Alderman Sevnik. I'll make a motion to approve the Board of Public Work minutes for 2/19/24. Second.
Motion's been made and then seconded by Ted Grotti. Are there any corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are approved. Next item, it would be the discussion and action item. We have a payment to Faith Technology. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to accept the payment of Faith Technologies Incorporated 2023-07 Public Works Facility for solar expansion in the cost of $306,000, $152.45. Let me say that again.
Wait, yeah, let's get it
I'll
right.
say it again. $306,152.45, and that's payment number one.
Okay, so we don't have to send out 3 checks, right?
That's right. Yeah, we don't want to do that.
So, Public Works Director, you want to give us an update? That seems like almost, not quite the full amount, but it sounds like there's some progress.
Yes, they are making great headway. All of the materials have been purchased, are on site. The mayor actually posted, we had gone up there a couple weeks ago, a week or two ago, and panels were all in, so we got some really nice pictures. He posted on his webpage. So we are actually looking here within the next week or two for completion of this. So it's purely labor. Things have to get connected up to the existing system, making sure everything's functional, and kind of the final pieces pulled together here, and we'll be operational with our solar.
Hopefully our weather will continue to cooperate with us, because this was to be extended out to at least April, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, they're ahead of schedule.
Excellent.
And
that's rare.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Anything further? Seeing none, we'll take roll call.
Motion carries 7-0.
All right, then we have recommend to award a contract. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to recommend the Common Council awarding contract unit 2024-02 Washington/River Street traffic signal upgrade to Vinton Construction Company in the amount of $202,628.42.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Nichols. This is over on Doty Island, and this has been in the works, I think, for a very long time, hasn't it? You want to address it?
Yes, this has been something that's been out there. We've actually been awarded 3 different grants for this project. And then with some of the Racine Street Bridge work and things like that, and the schedule on that, we were granted extensions. So what this is now doing, we've already purchased all of the materials for this project as part of one of our earlier grants. This is the installation and of the material we bought, and then supplying wire and conduit and things of that nature.
Okay, any further questions? Alderman Rapella?
Thank you, Alderman Sevnik. Corey, what's wrong with those traffic signals on the corner of Washington and River Street?
Those signals are old. The cabinet, the control cabinets are rather old cabinets, so we're upgrading that. we have some breaks in different conduits where certain times we have issues with maybe water getting in the conduit and shorting out a wire. We're realizing not only at this intersection, but a number of our intersections, that the wire is just of an age where the insulation or the coating on the wire is starting to crack and things of that nature. So we've noticed issues with that. So this is kind of the first of a handful that we would like to eventually do. This one, we were awarded a number of grants for this where the DOT supplies or funds 90% of it.
Excellent. I know that this intersection is one that my dad directed traffic on for a number of years, so that's when the policeman directed traffic, Nick.
Yeah.
So,
We're also adding some signals. We're improving the timing because it's split in multiple directions.
Got it, yeah.
With the east-west traffic coming in and out of there, we're trying to improve the safety with additional signals at that intersection because we do get a number of complaints and things like that for northbound traffic not seeing signals.
Understood. Thank you very much for your in-depth explanation.
Anything further? Seeing none, we'll take a roll call.
Motion carries 7-0.
All right. Now everyone's got to be patient with me because I have to click back. All right, so our next item is a second addition to the Southfield subdivision assessment report. Are we, go ahead, Corey.
Yep. So what we have here is the assessment report for the second edition of Southfield. I believe in your packets, there are a couple plan sheets and kind of our typical cover sheet, and it kind of shows that area where this work will be taking place. This particular subdivision will be behind the Appleton water plant. That's that small area there. I don't know, do you have any more specific questions to the
Anyone
numbers?
else have questions? What type of motion do we need here?
This would just be forwarding this forward. So a couple meetings ago, the council passed a preliminary assessment resolution. So this would be forwarding this to the common council. I suppose Alderman Nichols did question the 5:30 meeting in the previous council meeting. I'm not familiar with how long these meetings generally take, these public hearings for these type of assessments, so I just put a half an hour for each one. If you want to change that time, you can. I just, like I said, I wasn't sure, so I put a half hour for each one.
And these figures are usually more conservative?
Correct. So there is a 15% contingency on this. These numbers are probably a little bit on the higher side. Some numbers that I recently seen after I was completed with this, some of the asphalt numbers tended to be a little bit lower, but our numbers on Water Street tended to be a little bit higher on the asphalt end. One thing that I do want to note, previous assessment, I was speaking with Alderman Rapala about this. We previously estimated $14 a foot for curb and gutter. On this one, I spoke with some contractors. They said $18 a foot, so that's $4 a foot increase. I think previously, our last assessment in 2019, I think we were around $77 a foot, where this one here, we're at like 130 some for second edition of Southfield. But again, asphalt prices, we were paying roughly $50 to $55, and right now we're estimating $70 to $75 a ton. So there's significant increases in the cost of construction.
Okay. So recommend to forward to Common Council then?
Correct.
Is there a motion, Alderman Rapella?
Sure. I'll make a motion to approve the second addition to Southfield subdivision the assessment report.
Is there a second to forward to council?
Second.
Second's been made. Any further questions? Go ahead.
Thank you, Alderman Sevenick. Sam, so when is the extension from the Bree Court and Grassy Meadow going to go behind the water plant and connect with Woodland Heights? Is that planned at all in the next few years, or what's the status of that?
So that is still owned by the city of Appleton. We have not had a whole lot of conversations with them as of recently. So if you can recall, we were in a lot of conversations when they wanted the easement through the Conservancy for their water intake line. They decided to go that alternate route. And just due to their busy schedule and our busy schedule, we kind of pulled back from that again. But I would fully anticipate that to be a conversation to be having in the next couple of years, and could easily be again developed in the next couple of years. So again, we're kind of strategizing a few different ways to possibly make that happen, and it's to be determined.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Any further questions? We'll take a roll call.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you for that. One more item, we have the first and second addition to the Woodland Hills and Woodcrest Heights subdivision. Alderman Rappella, did you want to take that or no?
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
definitely. I'll take a motion to approve the first and second addition to Woodland Hills and Woodcrest Heights subdivisions assessment report.
And forward to the council.
Move forward to the council, yes.
Do you want, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Hammond. Is something you want to report on that? Those
Similar-
numbers are conservative too.
What's that?
I think those numbers are very conservative too.
Yeah, they're the same estimate.
Okay.
If you look at there is a spreadsheet there where they're broke down in each subdivision. I use the same numbers for each subdivision, just different quantities. This one breaks out a little bit different at a little less per foot cost. It's just, it has to do with, there's more area out there. The first one had a small cul-de-sac, and then in the bend in the road, there's kind of like a cul-de-sac on that bend, so those areas add up to more surface area of pavement and things of that nature spread out over less footage, front footage, where the Woodland Hills area has a lot more front footage. So that stuff is more evenly distributed through those.
And the issue with the size of the sidewalk, our ordinance says 5 foot and it's being proposed as larger.
So in this subdivision, we are proposing an 8-foot wide concrete trail. It was proposed, it's always been planned as an 8-foot wide trail.
And that's
Just-
not accessible.
That is not, the trails, whether they're asphalt or concrete, are not part of our ordinance as an accessible item.
Okay. Any further questions? Seeing none, we'll take, Alderman Rappella.
Thank you. So this 8-foot concrete sidewalk could be negotiated down to a 5-foot concrete sidewalk if the residents propose or are interested in?
We are following ordinance. If they would propose that to council and council would like to make that adjustment, that is for the elected officials to consider. But we are following ordinance. Staff would follow ordinance.
So you're following the 8-foot
And the vision documents. So yes, the original documents did show this, so we are executing that plan and following our ordinance. So that is why we are proposing it as intended here. But again, if residents were to come and speak and would like council to make a motion otherwise, that is
Okay.
why you are up here.
Okay. Also, Corey, we spoke about maybe there's like a 15 percent fee or charge that for engineering costs. Is that negotiable as well?
So,
kind of-
on both of these assessments, part of the assessment is a 10% engineering and administration cost. In the past, we've typically included that as part of the overall assessments. I believe last year with Warsaw Street, we kind of broke that one out differently because of just being two parcels and the significant cost in those assessments for Warsaw Street. The city did not assess for the storm sewer pipe that was put in on Warsaw Street, and we also did not assess for the 10% admin and engineering cost. That's something that as a council, I'm not going to lie, these are rather large assessments. That's something as a council that's your choice if you choose not to assess for those. Or include that as part of the assessment, excuse me.
And that decision can be made on the 18th?
I would anticipate that's when you would make that, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
And I just wanted to add that the reason for the conservative numbers is that should the bid costs come in higher, which we don't anticipate, but if they do, we kind of want some cushion, if you will. Otherwise, if they come back higher than what we're estimating, we need to go through a public hearing again and basically through the whole process to have those numbers approved. So they're conservative for a reason, so that we're not having to do this over and over and over. So just wanted to point that out for the public and just to outline the reason behind that.
Alderman Nichols.
Thank you, Chair. It was pointed out that there's a 8-foot trail going in, and I just want to, and you mentioned that you're following ordinance. Trail width is set by ordinance. A trail is different than a sidewalk, and these folks are not being assessed for that trail, correct? Nor would they be responsible for maintaining it?
Correct. Currently, the city would, if we would choose to remove snow on that, the city does typically remove the snow and things like that in the wintertime from our trail system.
Thank you.
Alderman Rappel.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alderman Sednick. So Corey, on the 5-foot sidewalk, if they choose to go that way, that's their responsibility to shovel it?
Correct. It would be their responsibility to shovel the trail, or the sidewalk, excuse me.
Okay.
Yep.
I think,
They would have to maintain the sidewalk.
right.
Repairs,
Then it's not a trail, then it's a sidewalk.
repairs, we would make repairs if so.
Just
if
like you
there's-
do on a normal street
Correct.
on 9th
Just
Street.
to be clear about that,
Yeah.
they're not responsible for that.
Right. Got it. Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
All right, anything further? Seeing none, let's take a roll call quick.
Motion carries 6-1.
All righty, thank you for that, Clerk.